Good evening. It's Wednesday, June 10th, 2020 here in Cebu City. I'm Cherry Ann Lim, and here's all you need to know in Newsbits tonight. The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board can deploy additional buses to augment the public transportation options in Cebu under general community quarantine. Here's Chari Coronel for the details.
The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board Central Visayas says they can deploy additional public utility buses to solve the alleged lack of public transportation amid the general community quarantine status. This after Liloan Mayor Cristina Garcia Frasco decried the agency's decision to deny her appeal in allowing the issuance of special permits to other public utility vehicles aside from buses. LTFRB Central Visayas Director Eduardo Montialto Jr. says the current number of buses and modern jeepneys issued with special permits to cater the riding public is still sufficient, considering the absence of the commuting students and the existing travel restrictions affecting some workers. But if a local government unit requested for additional buses, the agency can deploy more. Montialto clarified that they are only following the memorandum issued by the central office, which provides the hierarchy of public transportation modes to be implemented amid existing community quarantine guidelines. However, Montialto says LGUs can always elevate the request to the National Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Disease. Montialto says they already granted 775 special permits to public buses across Central Visayas, 380 of which are from Cebu Province. Under LTFRB Memorandum Circular 2020-017, the preferred transport service during the quarantine period are the PUBs, which have fixed routes, but the circular also provides a hierarchy of alternative means of public transport in areas where PUBs cannot operate. The hierarchy is from tourist bus to modern jeepneys, UV Express, traditional jeepneys, and lastly, tourist vans. Chari Coronel, Newsbits Tonight.
The number of coronavirus disease cases in Cebu province has risen to 324 after the province reported 15 new infections today. Here's Kenneth Torres for the details.
Cases of coronavirus disease in Cebu province continue to rise after 15 new infections were recorded today. Governor Gwendolyn Garcia, in her evening press briefing earlier, says the province now has 324 COVID-19 cases. Talisay City has 6 new infections. 5 of them are hospital workers, while the other one is a 30-year-old female resident of Barangay Kansuhong who died on June 5 when she was rushed to the hospital after falling off the stairs. The patient had fever. Karkar City recorded 2 new positive cases of the viral disease. One of the patient was a 57-year-old female resident of Maximina, Barangay Poblacion 1, who suffered from colon cancer and anemia secondary bleeding to colostomy. She died last June 7. The other patient is a 6-year-old boy resident of Barangay Kanasuhan. He is a son of a frontliner who first tested positive for COVID-19 last June 4. Aside from the positive infections, the province also has 87 recoveries and 27 deaths. Meanwhile, 6 new cases and 2 new recoveries were logged in Mandawi City. The city now has a total of 320 COVID-19 cases. Garcia says she understood that there had been too much fear surrounding COVID-19 because of the increasing numbers reported. But she added what is important was to remember that not all of these were active cases and that the majority of cases were asymptomatic. Kenneth Torres, Newsbits Tonight.
The Mactan Cebu International Airport has accommodated 24 domestic commercial flights since operations resumed last June 6. However, the airport's international operations remain suspended. Here's Chari Coronel for the details.
The Mactan Cebu International Airport started accommodating domestic commercial flights since it resumed operations last June 6. From June 6 to 9, MCIA recorded 24 domestic flights from Manila and Clark and vice versa. However, international commercial flights that was tentatively set to resume today remain suspended due to travel restrictions imposed by the government. Most of the passengers are stranded individuals and overseas Filipino workers. As the airport hub adapts to the new normal, airlines are strictly complying with the travel requirements that passengers need to secure for their flight back home. Passengers must present medical certificate, travel authority, and letter of acceptance by the provincial government of Cebu. Purpose of travel to Cebu can be returned to their residence after being stranded, carry out business matters, or fulfill a mission as an authorized person outside residence, or APOR. APOR refers to frontliners like health workers, media, and government officials with a mission in Cebu. Guests may apply for a travel authority or pass at the nearest police station. A medical certificate from the municipal or city health office is needed to apply for the said pass. A barangay certification is necessary as an endorsement to the municipal or city health office to conduct a medical examination. The pass will not be required for work or business-related travel. In Cebu Province, Cebuanos stranded in local government units outside Cebu who wish to return to their homes should secure these requirements. There should also be a letter of confirmation from the local chief executive of the receiving LGU indicating its consent to accept the returning person. For OFWs, they are required to undergo the 5-day isolation period. The Bureau of Quarantine continuously monitor the body temperature of arriving passengers through thermal imaging systems and conduct quarantine assessment in isolated holding areas that have been in place since the onset of COVID-19 outbreak. Chari Coronel, Newsbits Tonight.
The Land Transportation Office in Central Visayas aims to migrate all its offices to the new IT system for online vehicle registration and processing of driver's licenses before the year ends. Here's Kenneth Torres for the details.
As the country adapts to the new normal, vehicle application and processing of driver's license will be done online, but the Land Transportation Office Central Visayas will have to migrate to their new IT management system before the year ends. LTO Central Visayas Director Victor Caindex says their online portal at portal.lto.gov.ph, which is used to apply or renew car registration and driver's licenses online, is moving to a new system called LTMS. It has an automated biometric identification system with face and fingerprint identification to prevent false or double identities. However, Caindex says Central Visayas is still at beta testing of the new IT system in Tagbilaran City, Bohol, and Dumaguete City. LTO earlier said motorists can apply or renew their car registrations and driver's licenses online through their online portal. Aside from saving time, this will avoid crowding at the satellite offices. Caindex says LTO wants to come up with a feature where motorists will no longer need to physically go to their offices. However, prerequisite items like emission testing and vehicle inspection will remain. Caindex says there are already centers in Manila who are also undergoing beta testing for these features and hopes that by the time they move the Cebu City District Office to a mall, they will be able to start setting up the new IT equipment and can go online with the new system. Kenneth Torres, Newsbits Tonight.
Cebu will continue to experience moderate to heavy rains until Friday due to 3 weather disturbances. Here's Chari Coronel for the details.
Moderate to heavy rains will continue to prevail in Metro Cebu until Friday. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration or PAGASA says this is due to the 3 weather disturbances that affect the country. Pag-asa spotted a low-pressure area 30 kilometers east-northeast of Burungan City, eastern Samar, and may develop into a tropical depression in the next 48 hours. Aside from the LPA, Pag-asa says an intertropical convergence zone and southwesterly wind flow contribute to the widespread moderate to heavy rains over Visayas and other parts of the country. Pag-asa Mactan Chief Al Kiblat says Metro Cebu will experience good weather starting Saturday. Kiblat says the onset of rainy season has yet to start. Chari Coronel, Newsbits Tonight.
To get the latest, visit www.sunstar.com.ph. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our social media accounts on Twitter and Facebook. I'm Cherry Ann Lim. Good evening.